Ever wonder how Tony Robbins, a man known for commanding stadiums packed with thousands of people, manages to dominate every room he walks into? Whether he's on stage, in a boardroom, or just talking to someone one-on-one, his presence is undeniable. But here's the thing, his ability to command attention and captivate audiences isn't magic. It's a skill set that you too can learn. Today we're breaking down the secrets behind Tony Robbins' ability to own any space, and how you can apply these principles to your own life. Stick around, because by the end of this, you'll know how to walk into any room and own it. Welcome to Chad Guys, the brotherhood where we dissect the psychology, strategies, and techniques that make successful men unstoppable. Subscribe and join the Chad Guys Army if you're serious about leveling up your presence, your confidence, and your life. Let's get started. First, let's talk about energy and physicality. Tony Robbins is a master at harnessing and projecting energy. When he steps into a room, you feel him before you even see him. His posture is strong, his movements are deliberate, and his presence is like a wave that washes over everyone around him. This isn't accidental, it's a deliberate tactic to establish dominance. The takeaway here is that your physical presence sets the tone before you even open your mouth. Lesson number 1, master your body language. To dominate a room like Tony Robbins, you need to have a powerful posture. Stand tall, shoulders back, chest out. When you walk, make your movements purposeful. No slouching, no fidgeting. When you enter a room, take up space. Don't shrink or try to blend into the background. When Tony Robbins speaks to people, he often makes wide, open gestures, using his hands to emphasize his points. This makes him look more confident and engaged. The same principle applies to you. Even if you're nervous, your body language should project strength. Fake it until you make it, because eventually your mind will catch up with your body. A big part of this is eye contact. Tony Robbins locks eyes with people in a way that feels both intense and genuine. It's a way of connecting deeply and commanding attention. When he looks at you, it's as if you're the only person in the room. This makes people feel valued and respected, but it also establishes authority. Lesson number 2, master the art of intentional eye contact. When you're speaking, make sure to look people in the eyes. If you're addressing a group, don't just stare at one person. Move your gaze around the room, making brief but meaningful eye contact with different individuals. This creates a sense of inclusivity while also asserting your presence. Let's move on to voice control. Tony Robbins has a voice that booms with authority, and that's no accident. He knows how to use his voice to captivate and influence. His secret? He speaks from his diaphragm, not his throat, which gives his voice a deeper, more commanding tone. He also varies his pitch and volume to keep people engaged. When he's making a crucial point, he might lower his voice to draw people in, and when he's emphasizing something exciting, he raises it to energize the crowd. The key is variety. Lesson number 3. Develop a commanding voice. Practice speaking from your diaphragm. If you're not sure how to do that, take a deep breath and imagine your voice coming from deep in your chest. Your voice should feel powerful, not strained. Record yourself speaking and listen back to identify areas where you can improve. Work on slowing down your speech and adding pauses to emphasize key points. Tony Robbins knows how to use the power of silence. Sometimes a well-timed pause can be more impactful than any word you could say. It creates anticipation and gives your message weight. Next up, emotion and passion. Tony Robbins is incredibly passionate about what he's talking about, and that passion is contagious. People are drawn to energy, and the more passionately you speak, the more captivating you become. But here's the catch, is your passion needs to be genuine. People can sense when you're faking it. The reason Tony Robbins can electrify an audience is because he believes deeply in what he's saying. He's emotionally invested, and that emotional investment makes people want to listen. Lesson number 4, speak with genuine passion. Whatever you're discussing, find a way to connect with it emotionally. If you don't care about what you're saying, how can you expect anyone else to? If you're giving a presentation at work, for example, don't just recite facts and figures. Talk about why the topic matters, what excites you about it, and why it should excite others too. Enthusiasm is infectious, but only when it's real. When you speak from a place of authenticity, people are more likely to be drawn to you. Another key aspect of Tony Robbins' presence is his ability to read and influence the energy of the room. He's highly attuned to the people around him, constantly reading their body language, energy levels, and emotional states. If he senses that the energy is low, he'll do something to change it, like getting people to stand up, clap, or shout. He's in control of the room's atmosphere, and he adjusts his approach based on what he observes. Lesson number 5, learn to read and manage energy. Pay attention to how people are reacting to you. Are they engaged or distracted? If you sense that you're losing the room, don't be afraid to switch gears. Maybe you need to inject some humor, tell a story, or ask a question to re-engage people. Being able to adjust in real time is a powerful skill. It shows that you're not just speaking at people, but interacting with them. This kind of awareness makes you a more effective and magnetic communicator. Speaking of stories, Tony Robbins is a master storyteller. He knows that stories are far more memorable and engaging than a list of facts. When he wants to make a point, he often shares a personal experience or a relatable anecdote. Stories draw people in, evoke emotions, and make his messages stick. Lesson number 6, use stories to captivate. You don't have to be a world-famous life coach to have good stories. Share experiences from your own life that relate to the topic at hand. Even small, everyday stories can be powerful if they're told well. The key is to be vivid and specific. Paint a picture with your words so people can visualize what you're describing. Now let's discuss certainty. Tony Robbins exudes an air of absolute certainty. Even when he's discussing complex or controversial topics, he speaks with unwavering confidence. This certainty makes people want to follow him and listen to what he has to say. Here's the psychological principle at play. People are drawn to leaders who seem sure of themselves. When you speak with confidence, it makes people feel secure and willing to trust you. Lesson number 7, speak with conviction. If you're unsure about something, it will show and people will sense it. That doesn't mean you need to have all the answers, but when you're making a point, do so with confidence. Even if you're wrong, people are more likely to be persuaded by your certainty than by someone who sounds unsure, even if they're right. To build this level of conviction, do your homework. Know your material inside and out. The more knowledgeable you are, the more confident you'll feel, and that confidence will translate to your audience. Finally, we can't ignore Tony Robbins' powerful use of humor and relatability. He has a way of making even the most serious topics feel approachable. He cracks jokes, pokes fun at himself, and uses humor to put people at ease. This makes him more relatable and human. Lesson number 8, use humor to connect. You don't have to be a stand-up comedian, but a well-placed joke or lighthearted comment can make you more likable and engaging. Humor breaks down barriers and makes you more approachable, even if you're discussing serious topics. But humor needs to be appropriate. Know your audience and use humor that fits the situation. The goal isn't to be a clown, but to show that you don't take yourself too seriously. People are drawn to those who can laugh at themselves and make others feel comfortable. It's a sign of confidence, and it makes you more enjoyable to be around. It's about creating an experience for the people you're interacting with, not just delivering a message. Tony Robbins captivates audiences because he engages every sense, every emotion, and every ounce of his presence. And that's something you can learn to do too. Before you go, hit that subscribe button and join the Chad Guys Army. We're here to elevate your game in every aspect of life, from dominating rooms to mastering your career and relationships.